Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Doing an update on XRP. Last video was 6 days ago. I'm just going to flip over to that. This was from my last video. I was expecting either a triangle here to fill out or getting one more wave up, which it appears we've gotten, and suggesting waiting for a pullback to get into a long for this longer ABC to fill out. Let's go back to the, there we go. As you can see, we got that move to the upside and now looking for a retracement. We've broken the short-term trend here, so expecting this to be a larger correction within this wave. But real quick, those of you who haven't seen this, this is my daily count. I have this as a larger complex correction filling out. I have a 3-wave here, a 3-wave A wave, 3-wave B wave, looking for an ending diagonal to the downside. That's my primary count at the moment. There are bullish alternates, but they involve a lot of chop sideways before we can get a solid move to the upside. So at the moment playing for this, which is either we need our B wave to come up a little higher between the 50 and the 618 of this first A wave down before coming down, or filling out a triangle here and coming down to the downside. Like I mentioned last time, we were looking for a triangle here potentially, or a retracement of this wave. We'd look between the 50 and the 618 with the 382. Those would be the buy levels. If I decided to take the trade, those are the levels I would split up my entry for. I think I'm still going to stay sidelined on this one personally. But as of right now, have a complex correction down for our A. It's hard to get a good count on this. This could be an A, B, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, filling out a fourth, looking for a fifth, and we still need our A wave to complete. Or this is a series of zigzags, ABC, ABC, ABC. Or sorry, ABC, 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 yeah, ABC. It was really hard to get good measurements for this. The only ones that seem to work in areas we'd expect is this was the 1-to-1 of this wave. That's why I considered this most likely the complex, and this is mostly like a WXY. And then the 1-to-1 of this wave was a 1-to-1. But either way, looks like a 3-wave pattern currently. This is still open to the upside or the downside. So I'm going to mark up the triangle here. If you've been watching my other videos, you can see a lot of assets are filling out potentially like this. So it makes it a little bit tough to trade at the moment. So either we get that and come down to the downside as our B wave, come down for our C wave, or this turns into an ABC to complete a WXY. Put that next to it, A, B, C. Something like that. I'll put that in white so you can see our two paths here. We've got our triangle path and our ABC path. So far I was looking for this to be a 5-wave up on the smaller time frames here, but it can be counted either way. Like I can, if I stretch, get a get an impulse here, it would just be a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I don't like the look of that. 4 or 5. This would be a 4 or 5. It didn't overlap if that's a leading diagonal. It's just really ugly, and then this is ugly. I think I like the 3-wave better, but it doesn't change the fact that a 3-wave would just make this, if we got the move up for the ABC, it would just make it a flat. We get a 3, 3, 5. So it doesn't really change the possibility that we get upside, but it does lean me to think and consider that the triangle could be the one actually playing out. How's the measurements? If we got a 1-to-1 here, I'd consider it more likely an ABC. We got the 0.618 extension, so it still can be either or. Yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna sideline this one. I'm not gonna take this one long. I was hoping I could, because if you remember last time, we were right in this area, and I wanted to see one more pop up and then a correction here to take the long. But because this looks too much like an ABC, it doesn't look impulsive. If this was a 5th wave, I'm still not comfortable taking this trade to the long side. But I will see how deep this comes, because if we do fill out like a triangle and then chop up for like an E wave here, I'd be very interested in taking this short. But I'll show you how I consider taking that. So if we get B wave down, and again, it all comes down to the reaction at this level that you want to pay attention to. If we grind sideways like this, or get a triangle in itself, E waves can have triangles in themselves. But if we come up, grind sideways like this, the way I would take it is if we start to drop, because you know at the end of a triangle, the reaction you expect is a very fast move. So what I would do is have a trigger order. This is an A, B, just to understand how I take these ones. This has been the safest approach I've learned how to take triangles. You get an ABC, you put a trigger order slightly below the B wave after you get the ABC. If it breaks to the downside, so you have a trigger order right before that level, because remember, we would expect the move once it's completed to be very fast. So you need to, the way I've suggested is taking a trigger order there, and once the market confirms itself and it puts you in that order, then you can put the stop at the E wave. And how far down would that take us? Well, we'd have to run an extension off that once it completes, but yeah, hard to say right now. We'd have to run a target from the 1-to-1 of this first A wave off the B, but I would imagine it's going to be a pretty nice target here. If it was somewhere around there. You're looking for the 1-to-1 or the 618. 23 cents, it looks like. Where does that put us? 23 cents. Yep, that puts us right around target. $0.23 we'd be looking for. As you can see, it's a pretty nice trade either way if we get that set up, because we're looking for a 1-to-1 of this A wave off that B wave. Let me just make sure we can see that one on the daily. I don't think I have that visible. There we go. Again, those targets can change, but as you can see, it would line up right with where I would expect my wave 1 to be in a larger trend there on log scale. All our targets on XRP are going to be log scale because everything else comes too deep. You can see it would take us to minus 19 cents. So that doesn't make any sense. So if this fills out as the triangle and we get our setup at the trigger point there below the B wave of the E, get a nice little 15-to-1 trade setup, which is pretty rare, as you can see. So I'm going to get rid of all this, and now you know what I'm looking for. Alternatively, you can take a setup for that long if you feel like you have to trade it. But I mean, the stop goes at this X wave. I'd take my buys at 382.5618, and I'd be targeting the 1-to-1. So that would look like, that would be my average buy around the 50. Stop goes at the X wave. I'd just be targeting the 1-to-1 here of this a W wave off the X wave. That's the 1-to-1 at 60 cents. And that comes up, we'd probably get a little further. I'd expect to come between the 50 and the 618 of the first down move here. That's what this is, our highlighted box here. That would be between the 1.382 and 382, 1.236 and 382 extension there of the W wave. But as of right now, it looks like it's coming down correctively. Looks like we have a 3-wave, potentially ABC here. Might get another ABC for a double zigzag. You can get a lot of zigzags and triangles. They tend to drag out. So you could hedge this again if you get a good entry here at the 50 and or the 618 long. Maybe skip the 382. Stop at that low, and then if you see the E wave start to fill out, you could even, if you get a good entry for the long here, you can even put your stop at break even. Say it does something like this. This is just an example. And you get a really good entry down like at the 618 or the average price between the 50 and the 618. As soon as you start to come up, if you notice it's coming in 3, you could maybe move your stop to that B wave I mentioned. That would be your trigger order short. And you could be completely out of your position at probably slight profit if it failed, and get into the short on that same trigger order stop, flip the other way. So that's one option, and then that way you get the long if it plays out, or you get the short if it plays out. But I'm personally just going to wait and see what happens with the triangle. I'm still in H-bar, Rune, ADA, and getting a re-entry in Bitcoin shortly from here, if you want to check out that video. So I'm going to let this one play out and look for that potential triangle to short. All right, guys, that's it for XRP. If you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, this isn't financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I don't suggest you do anything that I do. This is just what I am doing. All right, guys, check out my other videos if you want to see my other setups, and thanks for watching.